Let's take a look at RoboHelpServer9. RoboHelpServer9 is a HTML and Flash Help web-based server platform. It allows you to manage and optimize your online help systems, knowledge bases, policies, and procedure documentation. You can easily deploy and manage up-to-date online content and monitor the use of web-based documentation in real time. We can optimize our content. We have the ability to set user and management privileges, and we can automate project merging. The first thing you want to notice is that RoboHelpServer9 has a web-based administration platform. First thing we'd want to do is we'd want to log on to our RoboHelp9 server. As you can see, I have localhost :8080/robohelp/admin/login.jsp. Localhost is because I've installed it on the laptop that I'm actually using right now. We may want to point to a different server in a real-life application. First thing we'd like to do is we're going to log on as an administrator. So I'm going to log on admin, click sign in. We're brought to the RoboHelp Server Web Administrator first screen, and let's take a look how we could create users and assign their permissions. The first thing we want to do is we want to take a look at certain groups. Now what we have here is we have a RoboHelp admin group, and within this group we have the default admin, which we've actually logged in as. What we can do is also set up other additional groups. In this particular case we have an authors group, and we've created a login for Jill. We can use LDAP, or we can create our own login and password. We've also created a SMEs group, and Jack, we place Jack into that group. If we want, we can also create multiple areas in which we could publish our content. So let's take a look at these area location. What we have set up is we have a general setup area that's there by default, and we created also two other areas. One that is live, and you'll see that live content can have information posted or projects posted by the administrator. And if we look at the development area that we've created, now we allow authors and SMEs, so Jack and Jill can also post to the development area. When it's live information, the administrator is the one that's going to have to post up that content. Let's take a look at the projects area. Now the projects area gives us the ability to look per area what projects we have posted. So what I've done in the past is to publish my RoboHelp 9 projects to RoboHelpServer9 into the development area. I'll show you how to do that in a few minutes. But first, let's take a look at the project and how it looks to the user when they are going to surf to our help site. Let's click on View Project. Here is our HTML help that I published using RoboHelp 9 being hosted on RoboHelpServer9. So the user experience is going to be exactly the same way it would be if we hosted it locally on maybe our file system or a web server. But in this particular case, it's being hosted on RoboHelp Server. So we get analytics on what information is being clicked on, what information is being searched for. So the user could click on search, and some information could be searched for. So let's take a look for dog. And you'll see that dog is not in our content. Let's take a look for cat. Cat also is not in our content, but we do know that world is. So let's take a look for world. Oh, we've got quite a few entries for world, and we can click on those entries. That being said, let's go take a look at RoboHelpServer9. Now let's look at reports. Well, we can get reports on the information that's being surfed for and search terms and what they're being looked for. So basically, let's go look at the development area, because that's actually where I published my WinHelp. And I'm going to look for search terms with no results. click View, and we'll get a nice report showing us that cat and dog has been searched for a few times. I can click on pie charts and we can get this within a pie chart. There's also additional reports that we can look for. So we'll revisit this after I publish another help project to the server so you can see that and how it's done, and then we'll actually surf around and see what else that we can see for analytical information and how we might be able to use it. So I'll close this for now. The next thing that I want to do is I want to minimize this, and I do not need to have it open to be able to do this, but I did want to leave it open just for ease of use. I'm going to open up RoboHelp9 and I'm going to go to Sales Builder. Now here's a project that comes preloaded with RoboHelp9, so we can just use this straight out of the box. When you install RoboHelp9, this sample project is loaded by default. What we're going to do is we're going to actually create a new project. It isn't on the sample. It's called WebHelp Pro. Easily done. We can just click right here on Create Layout, and we can choose Flash Help Pro or WebHelp Pro. As if it says Pro, that means that we're going to be publishing it to a RoboHelp server. So you can publish two different help formats to RoboHelp server: Flash Help Pro, WebHelp Pro. So that's what we did here. We created a WebHelp Pro project. Now let's just take a look at some of the options that we have. They're very similar to the options that you have in RoboHelp9 by default for all the other available options that you have. But let's just take a look. We can decide where we want to create and drop the help files locally for our build. We can do some conditional processing. So if we've tagged any of our content with conditional build tags, we can set those build tags to filter content. We can decide what type of skins that we want, so what type of look and feel that we want. We can even make choices about table of contents, index, glossaries, variables, languages that will be used, all the normal choices that you'd have in RoboHelp9. So let's click on Next. We can also select external content search, so we can actually point users to content that doesn't live in our current help project but may live on a intranet server or a web server, or it could be an advanced Google search. So I'm going to enable that. Next thing that we want to do is we want to tell RoboHelp9 where our server is. So we've already created that. Now let me give you a look at what we have here. We gave it a descriptive name, and we told RoboHelp where the server is. So it's http://localhost, because it's on my system. If it's a server somewhere else, you might want to put an IP address here, :8080, and we'd also want /robohelp/server. We want a login and password, so I've logged in as the administrator, saving the password so I can go back, and then we need to select which area that we want to post our project to. So in this particular case, I'm going to post to the development area. When we've got final approval, we'll post to the live area, and that's what we're going to make available to the general public. So easy enough to do. Let's click on OK, save and generate. Now what's going to happen is RoboHelp9 is going to generate this help project, drop the files locally on our system where we told it that we wanted to store these build locally. When it's done, it's going to ask us, do we want to publish? And we are going to want to publish this. We'll be publishing this to our RoboHelp server, so this will only take a few seconds. I'm going to be copying all of our help project files, HTML help, to RoboHelp server, to the development area. And when that is done, what we can do is let's just minimize this and go back to RoboHelp server. And let's take a look at our projects. I'm going to reload because we just added something. You'll see now we have Sales Builder. So I can click on View Project, This is what the user is going to see. This is the look and feel that we've developed in RoboHelp9. We can click around our content. We can do a search. We can search for terms. In this particular case, when we search for TM Aldis, we do not have any link connected to that. If we wanted to, we could search for a few other things. Let's just make dog miss a few times, and maybe even cat. Okay, that's a problem. And that's a problem. Let's actually search for something that we know is there. There's Sales Builder. Okay, so now we have some content that's been uploaded into our server. It's the analytic information is being generated. Let's just minimize this. Let's go back to reports. Let's look at the development area, search terms with no results, view report. Now you can see that we've searched a couple of times for cat and dog, database, TM Aldis, searched and failed. We knew we had a database. Okay, it's case sensitive. We need to be able to make it set for an uppercase D. Good information. We can take a look at it as a pie chart. This is an active pie chart. We can export this content to an Excel spreadsheet if we wanted to. There's other information that we can see. If there's any help errors, we can look for those help errors. Usage statistics. What is it exactly? How many searches? How often is this being used? Search trends. We can look for frequently searched terms, so we'll know exactly what people are looking for and how often they're looking for it. We may want to enrich our content based upon the analytics that we're receiving here. Terms with no results we already looked at, and viewed topics. So we do have this information, and we can use this information to go back to our source content and maybe enrich this source content or actually fix links allowing for the user to get to information based upon terms they're used to searching for. So this is a nice little hosting environment that gives us analytical information so we can enrich our content. That's what RoboHelpServer9 does. So RoboHelp9 server doesn't take much to install, gives you everything that you do need to install, gives us a hosting environment for our Flash Help and Web Help projects, and we get analytical information in report format so we can enrich our content. But that's not all. We also have the ability to merge projects, so our users can search all projects in our hosted environment for search terms. So if we had multiple help projects and we wanted to be able to allow our users to be able to go into one interface and search all content, this is also built in. So let me show you how easy that is. Automatically merge projects of the same type. Click that and hit apply. Done. It's that easy. Now all I have to do is click on view projects, and these projects are now merged, and the user can simply search for all content within both projects. It's that easy.